if I think like there's so many yoga teachers in the world, everybody's doing great. Some of them can do postures I can't even pronounce. So how and where I will stand and how will it work for me? Why would anybody come to me? These are all the rants that go in your mind, and your mind will give you 1,000 other similar reasons to not start and not work on yourself, because your mind is like, who are you? You failed at A, B, C, D, E, and you're thinking you will make it work this time. And then you have to say, shut up. You tell your mind it's okay. And this confidence to shut your mind also comes when you learn and put hours into your practice, into your craft, into your subject every single day.
This is why I built this. The Cooler podcast for anyone rethinking what's next. Every episode, real conversations with everyday people who turned a hard turning point into something that's theirs. Welcome. You're in the right place. Their stories might just become your map. Today's guest did not become a yoga teacher because it was trendy. She became one because she's been a student of the practice for more than 17 years. A few months before the world shut down during COVID, she made a bold move. She began recording and selling her yoga classes online. At the time, many people told her it would not work. Yoga, they said, was meant to be in person. Then the world changed, and so did her business. Today, Shynee teaches a hybrid model of online and in-person classes across the globe. But what makes her different isn't just timing or strategy. It's that she still calls herself a student first. She continues to attend classes daily, learning what feels good in her body before her teaching it to someone else. She also understands something most instructors ignore. Many people have a complicated relationship with yoga. They're curious but intimidated, interested but resistant. So she intentionally built a beginner-friendly video library to make the practice accessible, not overwhelming. For Shynee, yoga isn't just poses, it's a way of life. And in this conversation, especially as we celebrate International Yoga Month, we explore what it really means to build a lifelong practice, how she turned skepticism into a global online business, and why, in a world full of free content and AI-generated everything, human-led transformation still matters. Shynee, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. This means a lot, Ressa.
Thank you. Now, I always like to understand as well, what were you going through 5 years before? If someone had met you 5 years before you started your journey in yoga, who would they have met, and what was the transformation that inspired you to start that journey?
Okay, that's a very interesting question, and I must say I wasn't expecting that as the first question. So if before I started teaching yoga, if one would have got in touch with me 5 years before that, they would have found an actor and a dancer on stage, because that's what I was doing at that time. I've worked as a performing artist for many years, and I'm a trained dancer. And I tried my luck with acting as well. So you probably would have spotted me in a TV commercial or on theatre, in a theatre play or somewhere there. Slim chances, but yeah. But what happened was, because as a performing artist, it's not easy to build a career as a performing artist, and it has its own ups and downs and challenges, especially in a place like India. It's not like you audition for something and you get through. It's not that linear. So I was going through my own challenges, and at the same time was trying to find my ground. I've been a regular yoga practitioner, but I never thought that I will take yoga as a career or start teaching. But when I was trying to find some grounding for myself and figure out my own life, yoga came back in my life in a very big way. And from there on, there was no looking back. So I decided to do this because it gave me what I was looking for. It gave me the courage, the balance, the resilience, the power to face the world. It gave me everything. And it stabilized me. It gave me such a strong grounding. And I felt so much at calm, so much at peace. And then something in me was provoking me to share this further, to spread this word to the millions of people out there and to let them know that this exists and it's very simple, very easy, and yet very grounding, that they can use to their benefit and get the best out of it.
Amazing. I'm happy that you shared that, because this is what every yoga practitioner would tell you in some sense of the words, right? They will always share that it helps ground them, it's really lovely, it helps transform my life. And I must confess that I've only been experiencing that change in the last few weeks, practically. I've been a person who've always wanted to be a yogi. Like, I wanted to practice yoga, but I had a love-hate relationship with this thing. I would do a couple of classes and then I would feel like, this isn't for me, I don't really like it. And then I would try to practice on my own at home, watching YouTube videos, and still didn't like it. So what is in your experience, how do students really come to you? How do they find you? And how do you find them when they first come to those classes?
Yeah, it's a very important question. I tell my students that do not decide on a teacher right in the beginning, because yoga has many forms and which caters to different kinds of personalities,
right,
and different kinds of mindset and different kinds of goals also. Although the ultimate goal of yoga is union of your consciousness with the divine consciousness. And the whole practice is about that. But when it comes to choosing a form, initially people start with the body. And there are many yoga forms available like Hatha, Yin Yoga, Vinyasa, Ashtanga Vinyasa, Iyengar, Power Yoga, which I don't understand though. But
or Hot Yoga. Like, what is this? I was always shocked at these different types of yoga and wondering, where do I go? So
I tell my students, take a trial with everyone. Try out different forms, try out different sessions, different classes, different teachers. So you understand that what exactly you're looking for, because most of the time you don't even know how it feels just by checking somebody's profile. You need to experience their learning in your body, and then only you will be able to come to a decision whether I like this or not. Some people resonate with one form, some people resonate with the other form. It totally depends on what you're seeking. So I will not tell people, okay, I'm the best yoga teacher here, please come to me, I tell you everything. No. I just request them, explore as much as you can, for as many times as you want, and then decide what do you resonate with. If your heart is calling out for something, go for it. It necessarily doesn't have to be what I am teaching. But the way my students find me is mostly through social media, because I create content on Instagram, on YouTube, and that becomes my way to spread the word. So I do tell them about how I perceive yoga and how I see yoga, because it has changed my life. So I share everything that's coming from my own experience, in all honesty. If I have not experienced it in my body, I will not put it forward for other people. So it's a very simple thumb rule I follow. And if they resonate with it, they simply just send me a DM or leave us a text, and then they can be onboarded.
Thank you for sharing that, Shynee, because you're right. I started seeing some of your online courses and I noticed again how easy it was to follow some of your content. It was not frustrating. It was not too difficult. Of course, I'm still in the beginner stage, people, so don't think, I'm in advanced stages with Shynee. But at the beginner's course level, I found it very easy and helped me to start embodying some of that transformation you were speaking about. I understood in your journey that you started these online courses before COVID. Can you explain what that journey was like and, why did you even begin that work?
Yeah, so like I said, I'll tell you what was happening when I was in Bombay working as a performing artist. I got a call one day that my father had to go through a heart surgery. So I had to rush back to Delhi and leave everything aside and behind and focus only on the family. So while I came back to Delhi, I wasn't sure what I would do there because Delhi doesn't have as many opportunities for a performing artist as Bombay has. So I said, okay, let me just figure this out. Once I was just taking a walk, like a stroll in the park, and I saw a group of females practicing yoga in the park. And I just randomly walked up to them and was like, hey, can I just join this? This looks interesting because I'll be able to practice in a community. I've been practicing yoga for a long time, almost a decade before I met them, but I was practicing solo. But that moment I said, I think I should be in a group. So I joined them, and after a few sessions they figured out that I have a lot of training because I was a trained dancer and I was practicing for a long time. So they said, why don't you teach?
Wow.
I said, I am not a teacher. I'm here only to be a student and I'm happy being a student. So they said, no. We really, really feel that you can be a good teacher, so you should go and do a certification. They were my students, my fellow practitioners who really pushed me to become a teacher, in all honesty. So I said, okay, let me give it a shot. I did my certification. I loved it. I realized I should have done it way back, much earlier. Then I did more certifications. So I have more than 500 hours of training. And then I started teaching. And when every single day when I would take a class, somebody would walk up to me and say, you know what, I'm gaining my confidence back. Or somebody would come and say, for the first time, I understood the meaning of self-love. Or somebody would come up and say, I don't feel that, my voice doesn't matter anymore, or I want to express myself. Or these women would come and tell me about their stories, what they're going through in their house, and then how they're finding their own identity in the process. And they said the only variable or the only thing that they're now doing is yoga, which they were not doing earlier. So I said, if yoga is that transformative, that empowering, that amazing, why am I restricted to only few people in my, neighborhood? I should spread it to a wider audience. And that's where the idea came in. Then let me create an app and let me take this to millions. So I decided to put in my investments and my savings and invested into an app, and I built an app. And because I did not have a lot of money, I did the UI UX of my app by myself. I detailed out all the cancellation policies, refund policies, terms and conditions, everything myself, and put together the whole system. And this was 2019. On 21st June 2019, I released my app, which is Yoga International Day. So I remember I was like, hey, now I have this and I'm going to share it with the world so people can really experience that transformation that I and my students are experiencing. So I just put it forward, and I was promoting and I was creating content to tell the world that, hey, download this app. You can book your session here or take a class or experience the course. And after a few months, COVID happened. And everybody was like, hey, you knew about this. I was like, no, I had no idea. that people would need a health facility online, and I was already there. So I think it was divine's plan that, worked out. I was only coming from a space of giving and spreading yoga, educating more people about yoga. So divine really helped.
Of course. I love that. There's one statement I always keep in my back pocket from Oprah that says, luck is when opportunity meets preparation. And that was your luck right now, because you were prepared and the opportunity of COVID came for you. But, you said so many good things, Shynee, in that conversation I would like to unpack a bit. First thing I always tell my creators sometimes when they think of building online courses, everybody wants to build an online course and they think that's what they first should do. But you mentioned something where you said, I taught physical classes first.
Yes.
I got feedback first. People came to me and told me this was working. You didn't just decide to go to an online course, right?
No.
So tell us a bit about you mentioned some of the transformations already, but I think also most people are not just getting those types of transformations. You're seeing identity shifts between people. So could you give us some examples of some of the people who would have come to your physical classes and then in 2-3 months you see a whole different person? Like, what was that transformation like for them?
So I'll give you a story of one of my students. Her name is Neelu. So in typical Indian households, you see that, women do everything for their children, for the husband. They take care of the family, the household chores. But in that process, somewhere they forget themselves. They don't prioritize their health and their well-being. And they start to lose their identity because people around them become more important. So it happened so that once she started practicing yoga, after a few months, she came back and said, Shynee, I felt that something in me has released and I'm able to express myself better. I'm able to tell my children and my husband that I need time for myself without being judged or without having an element of guilt in it, which was a big thing, because otherwise sometimes we are like so available for our loved ones that we fail to be available for ourselves. We miss that, but we need to be available for ourselves first. And then when she told me, she said, I really found my voice. I found an expression. I found that confidence. I found that moment where I felt that I exist. I exist too. And I don't need to dim my light in order to, take care of my family. When she said this, I was like, okay, this is much deeper than I thought.
Right.
And this similar thing happened with another person also. She said I was hyperactive, working day in, day out, achieving, getting up early, doing this, doing that. She said, I never took time to really calm down myself, and I did not know why am I so angry, why am I so agitated all the time. Her name is Mrs. Khandelwal. So I remember talking to her. She said, I've literally forgotten how to soften, how to ease into my feminine, how to relax into myself, and really take few deep breaths. And once she was practicing yoga, she said, I just realized that silence is also a good response. I don't have to shout. I don't have to be angry and agitated all the time. She said, internally, I may take longer to accept with the viewpoint of the other person, but I started to pause before reacting. So she said that pause allowed me to change my reaction from reaction to a response. And that was very empowering for her. So what I'm trying to say is, we have all kind of personalities in this world. Some people are extroverts, some are introverts, some are aggressive, some are submissive, and it is all right. But when they practice yoga, everything neutralizes. They come in balance, they come in equilibrium, and that's what yoga really does to you. It brings you in balance so that you can operate in your life without any discomfort or without any roadblocks.
Good point. One thing I want to stress about and ask your opinion on is, do you think that the same transformation could be achieved by doing online courses or online classes with you instead of coming to a physical class?
Well, I get asked this question many times. Let me tell you this: one of my students, two of my students are actually yoga teachers now, because both of them started with me online, and during COVID only, and they both are yoga teachers, Archana and Abha. So there is no way that it doesn't work online.
Right.
It really does. Even I was surprised, because till the time you don't get a proof, you still keep questioning about it, like, is this method correct or not, But when I got proof, when I got validation, and now those students have become teachers themselves, I was like, okay, I have no reason to question it now. Yes, it does really work. If you're practicing with a good teacher, they will handhold you at every step. They will break it down for you step by step. They will educate you on the nuances, on the intricacies of the practice, which you can take back. But if you just go to a YouTube video and just play it and start randomly practicing out of it, you may not know whether it's suitable for you or not. I personally feel YouTube videos are better for practitioners, regular practitioners who have some experience of yoga. But if you're an absolute beginner, you must go for a first option, go to a teacher where you can actually experience live interactive sessions, or at least take a course from a teacher who knows what are the fundamentals you must experience or you must know before you progress in your journey. I got excellent teachers in my journey, and I had many teachers, and I am very, very, very blessed, extremely blessed to have them, because they gave me very strong roots, and that's exactly what I do. I try to bring strong roots for my students. I develop strong roots for my students so they get grounding, they get that confidence. And actually it matters a lot. The reason why you probably have a love and hate relationship with yoga is because your teacher did not ground you that much. If you had strong grounding, you would never go away from your mat.
I'm sure, but I must say I was able to take away from your explanation now that my efforts weren't in vain either, because when I did go to the physical classes, what I got from that was some of them did teach me the fundamentals, like how to get into a pose correctly, how to arch my back correctly and line things to the floor. So now that I appreciate going to do YouTube videos and to sometimes even your courses that I do online, I enjoy that more because it allows me the grace and the space to correct myself, to stop, to go back, do things over. So literally I have a process now that I will do the same exercise for at least 2 weeks straight with the guidance of the teacher. And then I would spend another 2 weeks doing it by myself. So in my own flow, in my own time and everything. And then after only a month or so of doing it over and over, and I feel comfortable, now I'm like, okay, I got this. Now I can do this, on my own, and I can move on to another harder exercise or another routine. So I think that's also valuable when you feel you didn't get the right teachers. You sometimes will leave with 1 or 2 things that might be right, and then you can adjust to suit or find something else that will help you grow.
But it's actually okay to, to experiment. I would say that what you did is right. There are times when you want to just experience something and you want to take a break after that, which is absolutely okay. A lot of people think that it's once they start something, they have to continue it for the rest of their life. It doesn't work like that. For most people, this up and down is normal. This curve going, all over is normal. So do not judge yourself by just saying, oh I did sign up for this, I didn't show up, or I did enroll for a course but I did not complete it. It's okay.
Right.
It's absolutely okay. You're human and you go through all the phases. It's okay to come back and resume. But the idea is to come back, to remind yourself that consistency means, or discipline means, to show up again whenever you can. Even if you miss certain sessions of certain classes, it's absolutely okay.
You're right. But to double tap and come back to something you mentioned earlier before even we started rolling cameras here, you said that, when you were building your online course, it was pre-COVID. So people were basically telling you, like, why are you doing this? It's not going to work. Like, you should be doing physical classes, right? What made you continue? Like, why did you not listen to them at that time? We had no COVID, so there was no reason to know that this was coming. But what made you persist in developing that app and developing those online courses?
I think I had a very clear vision that I physically cannot reach as many people as I want. It's impossible to even accommodate like 1,000 people in a class.
Right.
It won't work like
Exactly.
that. But now when I teach and I know 8,000 people are watching my session, I know for sure it was only possible if I go online. And so many people from the comfort of their homes can actually experience this. And it works. Because I have proof. They come back and tell us. I read feedback every single day of the sessions I conduct, and I check. I'm like, thank you, God. Somebody would say, my knee pain has gone. Somebody would come back and say, my fertility levels have improved. I'm able to conceive now. I was able to conceive now. And I get feedback for different areas. Somebody would come back and say, what? Finally, I find peace. The few moments after Shavasana are like bliss. We read these verbatims and we think, oh my God, this would not have been possible if I would have just stuck to my neighborhood, like I said. So the idea was clear. The idea was to reach to many, many, many people. And therefore, irrespective of what they thought, I continued with my online journey.
And that's good. And thank God you did, because so many people actually benefited from it in the end, right? So good going. Now, a lot of our audience here would be listening to you also are course creators themselves. And when I speak to some of them and people we actually work with in building their courses, they always talk about the challenges of promoting the course. They were like, okay, we got the idea, we built the course, but promoting it was difficult. Was that your experience as well, that it was difficult marketing it, or did you have other challenges that you would like to share about going through that whole experience of building an online course?
It was difficult.
Yes.
I have to admit that. Because, okay, you have a vision and you worked on it, you created course because it's coming from your own transformation, you want to share it further, absolutely okay. But when it comes to promoting, people don't know you.
Right.
People don't know why they should actually take that course. So that was a challenge, and that's the reason I create a lot of content on social media, because my idea is the same, to reach out to more people. I technically don't even count myself as a content creator.
But you do so much great content. You're definitely a creator.
But I in my head, I am only a facilitator. I'm only a messenger of the divine who is doing my work, because I know the divine has given me this gift and I want to share it further. So that's my only intention. And if it comes out as a reel, as a YouTube video, as a course, as a workshop or a retreat, those are just the methods and mediums to spread the same information and the same knowledge that I've been trying to. So I completely surrender with all those methods, and say whatever works, I'll try my best.
But did you have those skills, Shynee? Like, did you know how to create videos, and did you know how to do social media, or did you have to learn that on the go after you build the course or during the process of building the course?
I learned everything step by step. I attended a lot of courses on how to build so courses and how to work on, how to grow on social media and how to conduct, the sessions and everything. I learn a lot. Learning is a constant part of my life. Till today, I go to my teachers, my yoga teachers as well, and I learn from them. It's been 17, 18 years of me practicing yoga and about 8-9 years of teaching yoga. I still go to my class every single morning without fail. And then once that is done, I sit after my brunch, I sit and learn the skill I need to put things together. It could be a YouTube course, it could be a LinkedIn course, it could be, social media, Instagram thing, or how to get better with this, with that, with communication, with delivery. So I teach myself. I do a lot of study.
That's a big investment, Shynee. That
It's
feels
a lot
like
of
you have a second career now. You can open up another course, how to teach, how to become a yoga teacher, using how to market yourself.
Well, that's what people call me for. I'm not kidding. I'm going to Morocco this year, and the only subject I'm teaching there is how to build business as a yoga teacher.
Wow, and that's a really good course you should do next, Shynee.
Yeah.
See?
Because a lot of people, they have great knowledge about their subject, but they do not know how to put this forward. And while I'm learning, I'm happy to teach it further, but this is an ongoing process, and I do invest a lot of time and effort and energies into educating myself. Some things came to me a little easy, I'll be honest about it, because I have background of performing artist, as a performing artist, so light, camera, action was sorted. Was sorted part. Because I had already invested my time in learning that.
Yes.
That was almost like a decade ago. But the other things, I really have to invest my energies into it to learn. And I also did enroll for, business coaching and online content creation and a lot of online selling also, like the courses which tells you which is the right way to sell online. I did invest a lot of money in that as well. So, yeah.
That is so good to hear, because I think, again, this is what most course creators and most people, any entrepreneur who's trying to do business miss.
Yeah.
That the investment starts with yourself, and it starts with you learning. You can't, as much knowledge as you have, as much passion as you have, it is not easy for you to just put yourself out there and expect, manna falling from the sky because you're so great. You still have to learn from someone who's better than you. You still have to invest in you. And I'm happy that you share that, because I think a lot of people need to understand that part of the journey once you become a creator or entrepreneur or anything you choose to describe yourself as. But as a self-employed person, you have to rely on a secondary help as well, right?
It's very true, because the truth is, to make anything work, you need a lot of skills. Just knowing your subject and being a subject matter expert is not enough. You need to know what is the best way to automate your backend, what is the best way to sell, what is the best way to acquire new audience, in my case students. So it is crucial. And if you think knowing your subject will do everything for you, maybe not.
That's it, right? But again, this is what's sort of unique with us in Kula, and this is exactly the ecosystem we are building for people, because there are people like you who would be like, yes, I can sit down and learn this, I can hire the right coaches and teach myself this. But then there's some people, even if they do that, they're like, please, can somebody take this off my plate, right? Because it's too much, right? Some people just don't have that skill. So one of the things we're doing at Cool is actually that, like, okay, you need to know the foundational knowledge, because I believe you need to know what somebody is doing for you and to ask the right questions as well, so you don't spend in unnecessary money or take, risky decisions. But I do think there's a point where you need to focus on your craft, because the hours you would spend learning Facebook ads compared to actually getting a new video out for your yoga instruction or your yoga online courses is valuable. So there's always an opportunity cost, and this is not the best time and the best way to spend your time. But I do think, as you said in the beginning, you should do it because you need to know it, right?
Well, To be honest, it's a very long route.
Yes, that too, right?
It's a very, very long route. If I had an option, I would delegate at least 90% of my tasks. I was like, somebody please take care of this.
Exactly.
But I must also tell you the truth that once you've learned it yourself, it's very easy to supervise your team.
Exactly. You need that as well. That's why you need the knowledge, because even if you're going to delegate, you need to tell them exactly what to do.
And also, you know precisely how much time it will take for them to complete this. So you're like, sorry, I am not taking that as an answer. If you're telling me this will take me a week, I know I've done it in one day. I cannot take that answer.
2 hours. We can do
That's
it.
That's
give you a day because
I'll give you a day because it's okay. I understand that. But in order to, get things done, you have to know the fundamentals. And it is a long route.
Yes.
So being a lifelong learner is the way to go about it. There's no shortcut.
Exactly.
But another thing that I would like to share is, if you have resources and if you have money, don't waste your time in figuring out things on your own. Delegate as much as you can. Because the deeper you will go in your subject, the more confident you will be sharing that to the world.
Right.
Because ultimately it's about your inner belief. Lot of us have the knowledge, but we don't have a belief. We don't think we are capable enough, and we keep doubting. Like, for example, if I think like there's so many yoga teachers in the world, everybody is doing great. Some of them can do postures I can't even pronounce. So how and where I will stand, and how will it work for me? Why would anybody come to me? These are all the rants that go in your mind, and your mind will give you 1,000 other similar reasons to not start and not work on yourself, because your mind is like, who are you? You failed at A, B, C, D, E, and you're thinking you will make it work this time. And then you have to say, shut up. You tell your mind it's okay. And this confidence to shut your mind also comes when you learn and put hours into your practice, into your craft, into your subject every single day. Because then you have evidence to tell your own mind, like, listen, my dear love, I am not taking that because I know I'm working hard. It builds you in a way that nobody can shatter. Your identity shifts.
Yes.
And once that happens, you're coming from a place of authenticity. That is very crucial. If you're authentic, people will resonate with you.
Exactly.
It's not important how much you know. It's important is, are you authentic? Is your mind, your heart, and your words are aligned? If yes, awesome. I can tell my students openly that I'm not the best teacher here, and I know that. But I can also tell you the same thing, that whatever I'm sharing, it's coming from my practice, it's coming from my heart, it's coming from a space of truth. So this is my truth. I'm happy to share my truth with you.
I'm happy you said that, because I think one thing we miss as creators, and I have a program called Monetize You, and I'm doing it as a residency in Goa in September. And a lot of people come to that program and they're like, what? I can monetize any skill or talent I have? Okay, let me see. I want to do this. And I'm like, no, it doesn't quite work like that, right? Not because you're necessarily good at something means that you should do it or you should teach others to do it, because as you mentioned, it may not be your authentic self, because a lot of us have been trained to perform,
I think that's been everywhere.
Exactly. So if we happen to just know how to do something, it doesn't mean that we will come to teach it to others with that same level of passion and same level of authenticity. And I think in this day of AI and this day of knowledge where everything can be found everywhere, for us to stand out as content creators or to teach something to somebody else that they will pay for, it really has to come from a space of authenticity. It cannot come from a space of, I just want to make money, or I just want to put myself out there and be famous.
That will never work in long term.
Exactly.
So if I was to give you 3 important elements who should pick up what.
Yes.
First thing is, if you haven't lived it, embodied it, and experienced it, then don't do it. You know, you really, really need to have it coming from your core, from your heart. Because you know that that is coming from a belief that nobody can break. And that is what is most important, because that will keep you going. So choose a subject, a niche, or whatever you want to teach that is closest to you and that you have lived, that you practice every single day. And in Sanskrit we call it, that's your sadhana. If you're doing that daily, if that is your part of your sadhana, then must do it. You must do it. Second is, take feedback. Start teaching to smaller groups, workshops, you know, in whatever capacity you can, and ask for feedback. Nobody gets it right in the first time, you know, and nobody gets it right in the first year also, let me say that as well. It's a myth, because as you evolve, your craft evolves, your knowledge evolves, therefore everything will change. So what I would teach, what I would have taught like few years ago, is not the same what I teach today.
Right.
And I experience it every single day when I teach. So it's very important for me also to take feedback. Until today, I ask my students, you know, how are you feeling? What is it that you experienced? How is it going for you? That feedback helps me fine-tune my, teaching process. So second is, take feedback, be humble. No matter how many years of experience you've got, stay grounded, ask. Because your students or your consumers will tell you the right thing. And third and most important thing is, teach something that you can do for the rest of your life. If you are not practicing something for the rest of your life, you will be drained very soon. It's not coming from a space of living and believing. Then it's coming from a space of, okay, this is in trend, let me try this. And if the trend fades out or goes away, then you will latch on to another trend. And that is not how it functions. In order to make big and really transform lives, check with yourself, what is it that I want to do for the rest of my life? And if that is something, if you have an answer, go ahead, teach that.
Amazing. Shynee, I just think she just gave us your recipe for building anything you want to build in life, whether it's a course, whether it's a business, whether it's a life. This is what you need to actually have. So we will end on that note, Shynee, because I think you've basically summed it up so great. And I thank you for showing up today and helping us through this process. And I hope your audience will actually come to your courses. We do have a surprise for you. So if you reached at the end of this video and you type in the comments yoga, we will give you a free access to Shynee's course. Okay? So you will have a complimentary access to Shynee's yoga course if you want to try her yoga classes. Again, you have to type yoga in the comments section, and 10 lucky people, it's not for everybody, so don't give me 1,000, but 10 lucky people will get complimentary access to Shynee's course. So Shynee, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Ressa.
Wishing you all the success, and I look forward to practicing yoga with you again and again and again for the rest of my life.
Thank you so much for saying that.
Thank you.